Ludwig Wittgenstein was a genius, and like a lot of geniuses, he was also really weird.
Calling him an eccentric is, in a way, far too mild for what Wittgenstein was, but also doesn't quite capture his genius.
David Edmonds is co-author with John Idenau of the book Wittgenstein's Poker.
One can't understand the bewitchment of Wittgenstein's philosophy and his reputation without also recognizing that there was something extraordinary about his personality and the sheer power of his presence. He was relatively short, he's 5'6", he's got dark hair, he's got piercing blue eyes, he's a bundle of nervous energy, he's extremely charismatic, he has a great deal of presence, he walks fast, he talks fast, he is intolerant, capable of a great intolerance, so that many people tiptoed around him because if they said something stupid, he could pounce on them, and some of them found it very difficult to recover from Wittgenstein's, what some would say, bullying approach.
Edmonds' book is subtitled The Story of a 10-Minute Argument Between Two Great Philosophers.
It was a cold night in Cambridge, England, on October the 25th, 1946, and Karl Popper, the Viennese-born philosopher, was newly arrived in England from New Zealand, where he'd spent the war years, and he was invited up to the Cambridge Moral Science Club, which is the philosophy society at Cambridge University, and he was asked to deliver a paper, and he was asked to bring up a philosophical puzzle. Popper decided to lecture on the subject, are there philosophical problems?
During the talk, Wittgenstein, the club's president, started interrupting, demanding an example of a philosophical problem. Nothing Popper came up with could satisfy him.
And eventually, Wittgenstein was getting so agitated that he bent down and he picked up the fireside poker, and he was gesticulating with it wildly. And he demanded of Popper an example of a moral principle, whereupon Popper said, "Thou should not threaten a visiting lecturer with a poker."
Wittgenstein wrote his first book, the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, in the trenches during World War I.
And once he's published the Tractatus, he believes he solved all the problems of philosophy. And as he solved all the problems of philosophy, there's not much point doing any more philosophy.
Wittgenstein spent time working as a gardener, a primary school teacher, and an architect.
And eventually, he decides that actually he hasn't solved all the problems of philosophy, and it's time to go back to the discipline.
Wittgenstein spent the rest of his life writing, but didn't finish anything.
If you go to a library now, or if you go to a bookshop now, you will see whole shelves of books written by Wittgenstein. He scribbled all through his life, and these books have been assembled posthumously.
Wittgenstein died in 1951. His most famous work, Philosophical Investigations, was published 2 years later. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Zoe Corneli.